So you wanted me to talk about Necromancer? Well, it's like they say, better late than never, right? Let's talk about her. Her passive ability, Malediction of Nagash. Sienna's flames now burn with a cold, unearthly light that saps enemy vigor, causing them to suffer 20% additional damage from Sienna and her servants. Her career skill, Raise Dead. Sienna raises a company of skeleton warriors to ravage the enemy ranks. She's also got 3 perks, Mistress of Death. Sienna can command her servants to attack or defend. You can also release them to ventilate overcharge. This is done using her Icon of Death, which is like a little skeleton on a rope in her normally what is the potion slot, is now shared with the Icon of Death to command her skeleton army. Cold Flames, Sienna's damage over time effects last 100% longer. And Life Taker, killing an enemy grants 2% crit for 5 seconds, max stacks of 5. Let's get into the actual build here. For her weapons, we're going with the Ensorcelled Reaper and the Soul Stealer Staff. These are the ones that came with her. For THP, we're taking Corpse Maker, which is essentially just Cleave. This one's going to be really nice because the Reaper has pretty good cleave on its heavy attacks, and they go in a nice side-to-side motion, so you're able to make a lot at once. On the level 10 line, I'm taking Death Ascendant. Casting spells grants 5% increased range power for 6 seconds, max stacks of 5, so up to 25% increased range power. And I do use my staff a lot with this build. I use it for kind of killing elites and big armored guys like Chaos Warriors and Storm Vermin, which is why I'm also taking Enhanced Power, which increases your total power level by 7.5%, even though it is displayed as 7. Although for this build I would not be mad if one were to take Smiter as well for a more melee focused approach. That's also really good. On the level 20 line, Soul Harvest. The Malediction of Nagash rips the soul from targets that die. Harvesting 8 souls causes the next attack to be a guaranteed critical hit. So I really like this one. I kind of like to time it with my staff, right? So if there's maybe like a horde going on and there's a Chaos Warrior or even just a Berserker or something that I would like to single out and kill, I will wait till like harvest 8 souls, right? And then I'll have that crit, and I can basically do like twice as much damage with the staff and kill Chaos Warriors a lot faster. A critical hit with the staff is very strong. On the level 25 line, Spirit Leech. Killing an elite enemy restores 15% cooldown. This one's pretty freaking awesome. I like summoning the skeletons. I like commanding them around. I like telling them what to do. I'm a bossy bitch, right? So this one couples very nicely with my staff, where I like to kill elites with them crits, So I'm basically just gonna have my cooldown either up a lot or pretty close to up most of the time. This obviously scales better with the higher difficulties as there are more elites around, so you just be able to summon your skeletons more whenever you want. Her ults down here are all really interesting. Army of the Dead allows you to raise a bunch of skeletons because they can stay, a little extra 20 seconds before decaying. That's kind of cool. You can have like a giant army. Dread Essential, they have more health and damage. You would think this one would be better for like dealing damage, but they actually attack so slow, and even though it's more damage and they kind of stay alive a little bit longer, I don't really love this one. However, Barrow Blades. Skeletons now carry 2 cursed blades. When raised and when attacking, they ignite enemies, causing damage over time. But this is the one if you want to do like a lot of damage very quickly. This one's going to allow her to do like a crap ton of monster damage, kill, pretty much like do significant damage to hordes, elites. The only thing this one's really not good for is like armored guys, but we take care of that with our staff and sometimes our melee weapon. And for the equipment over here, as I mentioned before, the Ensorcelled Reaper. I like to go with crit chance, attack speed, and swift slaying. Keep it pretty simple here. I don't block with this weapon too often. You don't really need to block with Necromancer too much, as you have your skeleton army to kind of do that for you. So defense, who needs it? I'm just here for the speed and the crits. Down here I've got the Soul Stealer Staff. I like to run extra damage versus armor because that's what I focus on, armored guys, Chaos Warriors, Storm Vermin, that kind of thing. Extra crit chance, just in case. Let me get lucky a little bit, right? It's super strong when it crits. Like I said, it does about like twice as much damage when it crits, so it's really nice. However, the one downside is it makes a ton of overheat, so I do like to run the Thermal Equalizer to just be able to cast that much more or manage my overheat just a little bit better. On the necklace, I do have to run some block cost reduction, as you are kind of a sitting duck with no block cost reduction in a Cataclysm game. 20% extra health is pretty standard, allows me to stay alive and take hits if necessary. And I do run Natural Bond here. I do a lot of venting with the staff, even with Thermal Equalizer. managing the overheat there. I'd like Natural Bond to kind of offset that just for when I don't have temp health, but also, you know, there's nothing wrong with Boonashalia or Barkskin either. All three I think are viable choices here. On the Charm, I like to run attack speed because it makes the weapon feel really nice. Harvest Chaos to prioritize more dangerous enemies, well, the ones with more health essentially. The Chaos faction beastmen are considered chaos, so kind of covers a lot of enemies with one little stat here. And then I like to run Concoction just in the name of getting my ult back faster if I really need it in a pinch, you know. If I've got a potion and a monster kind of comes out of nowhere at me, I'll chug it, summon some skeletons, and we'll fuck them up together. For my trinket, I'm running Crit Chance, Stamina Recovery, and Grenadier. I like to have as much Crit Chance as I possibly can on this character. She kind of benefits a lot from it. And then Grenadier is personally just fun for me. I really like it. You know, a 25% chance not to consume a grenade sounds kind of lame, maybe, but when it happens, oh, it's pretty freaking awesome. So I'm just a fan of Grenadier, personally. And there you have it, guys. That's my Necromancer build here. If you want to try that out, go for it. And I'll catch you guys in the next video.